Yeah, no, listen, I'm buzzing, mate, but it's a priority for me to get back in the ring lively, drop back down to 147 and pursue the dreams of winning the world title.
Now, but he says he's fighting Barrios. I know how long you've wanted that fight. Is that Ryan Garcia and Barrios fight official, and do you still want him next?
Yeah, listen, I'll fight the winner. The green and gold belt is the belt I've always wanted. It's been hanging up in my gym, my dad's belt. For me, that belt is the one that I want, and no doubt it's the belt I'm going to strive to get.
If they do fight next then, who would you fight next?
It depends on whether I hold out or whether I challenge the likes of Rollies or, you know, the winner of tonight, Haney versus Norman. The world's my oyster, I'll fight any man, that's a given.
Conor, what about Lewis Cocker in the ring as well? Obviously he's got the IBF.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not really interested. It's bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. Although he's the IBF, you know, he's not really a name that's on my radar. And for me, about the £10 rehydrate, just not really. I'd rather win the WBC. For me, that's my main goal, or a big American name, and maybe come over here and headline in Vegas and fight the likes of Rollies, Garcias, Barrios. I believe we do a good show in Vegas.
Well, you just mentioned Haney and Norman. Who do you think wins tonight?
I think Haney's in a very hard fight. I think if he's not confident, which by his last performance didn't strike him as a confident fighter, he'll be banging trouble. If he's got his confidence back, I believe it can go. He can nick it on points.
And Garcia and Barrios, obviously, you just mentioned there. It seems like it's done. Who do you see winning that fight?
It's a bit of a hard one. I've heard it's done, I've heard it's not done. Ultimately, I'll be willing to step in if it's not done, and I'll be able to get myself down in weight as soon as April.
What's your honest thoughts on Devin Haney? We always see yourself go back and forth like, what can you honestly say about him now?
Listen, he's just not my cup of tea. He's just not someone I'm overly keen on. I can't even say as a man because, he's just not my cup of tea. No.
You haven't fought 147 for almost over 3 years. Is there any concern to getting back down to that weight position?
It was more of a concern me jumping up to 160. That was more of a concern than me getting back down to 147. You have science, I have a nutritionist, I have a chef, I have a performance coach. You have the technology today, so we can safely say I'll be able to make 147 without, listen, it ain't gonna be pleasant, but without causing my body any harm.
You're talking about going back down to 147. You fought your last 2 fights at 60. The fight before that was at 54. You think, I heard you talk about the nutrition, but you think it's a little dangerous going back down to 47 like that?
You say dangerous. I get in the ring and get punched in the head for a living. That's dangerous. You know, ultimately it'll be my job to make sure that I do it safely. I do everything professionally. I don't cut no corners, and I make sure whatever I do properly. I'll make sure I do it properly. And if the science says I can get my weight down, well then I'll get my weight down.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good mate, you?
Yeah, not too bad. I spoke to Brian on Monday and I said to him, would you like to fight in London, potentially with Conor Benn if you beat Devin Haney? He said 100% has a fight that he wants next. Is that something that you would definitely want after being here tonight?
Yeah, of course. Listen, I want a big American name. I want to get the world title off one of the Americans. I feel like that's something that my dad done. It's something that I definitely want to do. Whether we headline in Vegas, for me to go over there and bring the world title home, for me that'd be a dream.
And I didn't hear your analysis on tonight's fight, but how do you see the fight going with him and Devin Haney?
Depends how Haney comes out, if he's confident or not confident. Based on his last performance, he didn't strike me as a confident fighter. I feel like he'd be banging trouble if he's not. Norman's a big puncher. Based on his last fight with Jin Sasaki, it's a very dangerous fight for Haney. A lot of people are saying Haney. I'm backing Norman.
Conor, obviously your dad had a lot of success over in America. I mean, how would it be to you to win that WBC over in America like your dad did as well, even though you won it in Italy and defended it over there?
My eyesight is heavily set on the WBC world title. Now, if Barrios and Garcia are fighting, I'd be willing to hold out, I believe, if we can come to some sort of an agreement that I fight the winner. The WBC for me is a dream. Do you understand? It's the pinnacle. Yes, you have the IBF, yes, you have the WBA and WBO. The WBC is the belt for me. That's something that I've had my eyesight set on. For me to achieve that, I would happily retire after winning the WBC world title.
Definitely. And what has your dad said about your win on Saturday? Obviously, he had a few words senior in the post-fight presser, but what has your dad said to you about your win?
Yeah, no, my dad's happy, man. Like, he looks at me in the morning and goes, son, I love you, mate. I love you, mate. I'll be like, I'll forever have that over you, Dad. And you'll forever have the WBC belt over me. So until I get that, it's even at the minute, I think.
What did you make of your dad's comments about UFC?
You don't like him. That's it. If I was to put a mic in your face and say to you, what do you think of this geezer? If you're true to yourself, you would openly say, yeah, I don't like him. My dad's just saying he don't like him. And as I said, and I always say, you ain't got to like everybody. That's wild. That is wild. Like, I mean, I rate Jake Paul. As in, he's a grafter, he works hard, he ain't got to do it, he's taking on a hero of British boxing. He's the guy who's done it all, a massive puncher. You got to take your hat off to him, man.
What do you make of his chain? Because you've got a chain. Do you see his chain?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I rate it. I rate Jake Paul. Everything about him, his marketing, the fact that he puts the work in, the fact that he wants to face these challenges. You got to take your hat off to him, and I think he's doing great.
Fight Jake.
Fight Jake. Listen, bro, he is the money man, isn't he? Everyone's getting paid off of Jake, so you got to just, as I said, take your hat off to him. Is it would I do that at this stage of my career? Probably not. But then again, money talks, doesn't it?
I know it's been a week now, but what do you think he should do next? Do you think he should retire?
I can't say. I can't. It's not for me to say. I think Chris is a great fighter. He gave me 2 great fights, but ultimately, he's now at the stage of his career where he should look at retirement. Let's see what fights they can pull out for him at maybe 168, and see where he goes from there.
Were you shocked at the Chris that turned up last weekend?
I wasn't shocked at the Chris that turned up. The fact is, I changed the antics completely. I didn't take the fight to him. The first fight, I took the fight to him. I left myself open. I was vulnerable in my tactics. I was aggressive, so he could counter me easy. This time round, it was down to me to make him use his feet, make him use his reactions and his timing, which I knew couldn't compete with mine. I'm the younger, fresher fighter. So for me, it was a matter of what I'd done in there. I could have made the first fight that way. But ultimately, I learned from the first fight, and it was a matter of using my feet, my feints, my jab to set everything up. There was no hope for him. I'm too fast, I'm too explosive, I'm too sharp, I'm too young. A lot of people say I couldn't outbox him. Body shots, first round damaged him, second round damaged him, body, speed and feints just broke him down.
Were you surprised at how he was post-fight towards you in terms of giving you the credit that you deserved after the fight?
Seconds out, round 1.
I haven't really thought about it. Whether he respects me or not, I still beat him.
Conor, I'm sure you've seen clips online after your fight. People like Dave Allen, saying that look, the sort of Eubank that you thought was washed up, and this isn't Conor Benn that's going to be winning world titles. There's been a few people say that. What do you make of that sort of response?
I don't know. I think Dave Allen should focus on his career because he looked like Eubank in his last fight. He was the Eubank. So I don't feel like there's really much he can say. Ultimately, I beat what was in front of me relatively easy, but at least I wasn't the Eubank, He was the Eubank.